welcome to my bathroom.
So tell me about your inspiration for this bathroom.
So we wanted this bathroom to have a very authentic, lived-in feel. We got 6 different people to come in and lend little touches here and there. This one person decided to scuff the wall, and then another person chose these towels, another person chose the art, another person left some hyper-realistic articles up there, and we just wanted it to feel like a very authentic place where people live.
Interesting choices.
Yes, very interesting. I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Let's discuss our project. I actually do share that bathroom with 5 other people, all my siblings, and it is cramped quarters, but I've lived here my whole life and I'm kind of used to it. What bothers me more is that the bathroom isn't beautiful, so that's what we're addressing in this video. Should I change where this is positioned so it looks less funny? Maybe I should remove it from the video altogether. Is that better? Maybe it's just distracting. Maybe I should put it over here. I think I'm going to split this video up into a few sections. This section will be like the inspiration, and then I'm going to have a section about like painting and priming, and then we'll cover decor and fixtures and hardware in another section. There is like 0 budget for this project. I'm going to have the goal to do it as cheaply as possible. My parents will pay for the paint, and then I think I'm probably just gonna pitch in and buy whatever little things I think will really improve the space. So part of this vlog is going to be bathroom redesign on a budget, but I think that will be fun. I think that will force me to be creative, and sometimes when you're just given like a blank slate for something, it creates this vacuum in which you don't know how to make decisions. But if there's some criterion or some direction that you're headed or some limitation that you're working with, it forces you to think outside the box and be creative. So I think that's actually probably going to be helpful in the long run. Maybe I should turn this because I want to put some like inspo pics up here. This lamp is bothering me so much, but I can't really readjust it because it's kind of broken. I knew early on that I wanted to do blue. I think blue is a great color for a bathroom. I think it's like the most common color for a bathroom, so I'm not the only person that thinks so, obviously. I thought about doing wallpaper. I love wallpaper. I think wallpaper is so cute, especially in a small space like a bathroom. But we have struggled historically with moisture and condensation in this particular bathroom, and wallpaper would just be a terrible idea. It would not last. I know it wouldn't, and it just wouldn't be a good idea in the long run, and it's very labor intensive as well because I would have to do it myself. So even though I found a wallpaper that was very pretty and I could have used it, I did decide not to go the wallpapering route pretty quickly. I also considered doing picture molding. I had assumed Mom would not want to do picture molding. I was like, it's gonna cost like I think $150, $200 just to panel literally one wall of the bathroom. And I was like, that's really expensive and it is going to add extra labor as well. And she was like, oh, well, I thought you really wanted to do it. And I was like, I do, but I didn't think you would want to do it. So we scrapped the idea of doing picture molding too. And so you're like, Lydia, this is not shaping up to be a very interesting bathroom renovation. And I kind of felt the same way, but we're gonna roll with it anyhow. I think color is really going to change the way the bathroom looks. I was trying to think of a way to make it more of an interesting result, and a couple ideas I threw around involved painting the trim as well. So the first option was to paint the walls white and paint the trim a brighter blue. I think this is a really fun way to add a pop of color to a room without painting the entire room. I think I'm least likely leaning this direction because I do want there to be more blue in the bathroom. The second option would be to do that, but also paint the walls a lighter blue color, and I think this is really fun. This is like such a colorful, like interesting contrast. I don't really know what shade of blue I would choose to do that contrasting blue and light blue in. So this feels a little more overwhelming to me. And then the third option would be to just full flood one color of light blue all over the walls, all over the ceiling, and all over the trim and the door. And I really, really love light blue from Farrow & Ball. It's exactly what I am envisioning. The problem is there's no Farrow & Ball store near me, and Farrow & Ball paint is very expensive. And also when I see like the swatches of this, it doesn't look like it does in the pictures I see online, and so I feel like I don't really know what this is going to look like. I think I'm gonna have to settle to go to a local paint store and pick out something from a different brand. We'll see what I come up with and how close I can get. I've got to make this quick because it's sweltering outside and I have my air turned down. It's currently 93 degrees and it's going to be 90 degrees, somewhere in the 90 degrees pretty much all week. So summer is officially here, I think it's safe to say. I'm about to go in the paint store. I ran ideas past my dad, past my sister, past my mom, because I have some paint colors that I think I'm going to get samples of. Despite being a painter, I have never picked out paint colors for an interior before. So we'll see how this goes. Back when I was doing more house portraits, I had a spam Instagram account reach out to me wanting to advertise my house painting business. And it was a funny, like, mistake on their part. Like, you know, maybe it was automated, I don't know. But what was, like, funnier was just, like, the ludicrous, like, account name. It was, like, Chicken Poo 123 or something. I was like, how do you expect anyone to take you seriously, scam or not, if that's your Instagram account name? I don't know. Anyway, it just reminded me of that for some reason. Brittany blue. I feel like it's a good, true light blue that doesn't look too babyish or too green, or maybe silver gray, which is very similar but less blue, just ever so slightly less blue. It's the following day. My bangs are ornery again. Got some cleaner, got some rags. I'm just gonna wipe down the walls, the ceiling, get all the dust and stuff off of them before I tape and prime. I want to prime before we decide on paint color. I finished scrubbing, finally. So I don't think I'm gonna get to priming until tomorrow, but that's okay. The very last corner I have to tape, and it's like so hard to read. I took the big mirror down because we're eventually going to put a smaller mirror here that is maybe like 6 inches smaller overall. One that's connected to a medicine cabinet that goes inside the wall, but we're not ready to take on that project yet. So I've taken down the big mirror. I'm gonna go put the small one up. That way I can just prep and paint the entire space so we don't have to come back in and like fill in the gaps and it all matches and looks good. To take this towel bar down, but the tiny little screws that are screwed into the holes underneath here are stripped and I don't know what to do about that, so I think it's gonna have to stay on the wall until one of my brothers or my dad comes home and can help me with it. I've vacuumed, I've removed all of the hardware from the walls that I don't want to paint around. I took the shower curtain down, I took the rug out. I think phase one of phase one, not even phase one of one, it's finally finished, and now I can move on to part 2, the priming. It ultimately came down to these two. I can't see them very well. They keep curling up. Ultimately, it's come down to these two. I personally really liked this gray blue, but my mom thought it would look kind of drab. So she made the final call, and we're going with silver gray. This is a Benjamin Moore color. And I'm gonna get the Aura bath paint. The woman at the store recommended it to me, and then when my dad was telling me what to buy, he was like, oh, and get the, he already knew what it was. So that's what we're going with. I'm gonna get it in a satin finish. So there's like a semi sheen, and it'll be a little bit easier to clean the walls. And we're also putting it on the trim, so that way it will flow really nicely together. Did not make it to the paint store yesterday. By the time I finished putting a second coat primer on the walls and got myself cleaned up, the paint store had closed. So I went this morning. I picked up the paint. They did not have the Aura bath paint in a satin finish. They only had it in matte, which they didn't say, probably because I didn't ask. But I got a quart of satin finish non-Aura bath paint to do the trim and the doors. I've just been doing the edges first, edges and the corners where the roller will reach. Update, all the edges are done. They're so messy, but it really doesn't matter. I just opened up this little can of paint, and I'm a little concerned it's too light compared. Okay, maybe it's just the lighting. Phew. Let's test it out and see. This should also darken as it dries. Okay, first paint of the paint. The first coat of paint is totally applied. There's the door, the trim. I was really like a little bit questioning how it was gonna look, but I'm really happy with it. I think it really improves the look of the space, and now that I'm seeing it, I kind of wish there was a bit of crown molding on the ceiling. My mom wants to put a chair rail here, which will cover where these screws were that held in the towel bar, and then put hooks on them. So we have more space to hang up towels and clothes and things. So she wants to put a big piece of chair rail here, and we did decide we weren't going to do picture molding, but it is making me think maybe we should do just like 2 boxes here and here. So I think I'm going to mock it up and see like how much it would cost, how much materials it would take, and see if I can get my brother or my dad to help me with that, because I'm not really a power tools girl. I took a break and ate dinner so this could dry fully, and I asked my dad about doing picture molding, but he said we don't have a trim saw, so we're just gonna have to do chair rail. Oh well, it will be less work. Maybe I'll come back at a later date. I really want to remodel my bedroom sometime, and I want to put up picture molding then, so maybe I'll invest in a trim saw and learn how to use it, and I'll come back and put it up in here, because I do think it would be really cute. I really think some crown molding would look nice, but oh well. Time to go back to the store. I need to put like a counter on here so I can keep track of how many trips to the store I'm making. I am so ready to be done with this. I still have the door to do. The lighting in here has changed because we put up a different light fixture, and it's too high. It really needs, wow. Oh, they have paint all over the place. We put it up in the same place that the other one was anchored, and the other one was facing downward, and this one's pointing upward. And it's gonna have to be moved at some point, which is annoying because I didn't want to make more work for someone, but it can't really be helped because I don't know how to cut and repair drywall. Anyway, I just have to finish painting the door, and then this piece of trim we've installed to put hooks in. You can see, like I'm demonstrating, but it needs to be screwed in a little bit tighter, and we don't have the right kind of screws or nails to do that tonight, so it's just I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and touch that up. But everything else is done except the door, so I'm gonna finish it up now. about to put oh, this is my microphone. I'm about to put a final coat of paint on the door, and I took pictures of different areas of it so I can keep track of all the areas that I missed, because the paint is really light when it goes on, and I quickly lost sight of the areas when I was putting on the second coat. I don't know how you can see that in some of these cracks and crevices here. I didn't get all the paint in. Once I started putting the second coat on, I couldn't really tell what had been painted and what hadn't been. It is now the following day. The paint has dried. The dust has settled. I washed my hair. I wanted to do that Pharaoh and Ball light blue color, and I feel like this is spot on, exactly what it looks like in pictures. I've never even seen it in real life, but I liked how it looked in the pictures I saw. So that's what I was going for, was this very like soft, calm blue. Not too warm, not too cool, and I feel like this is perfect. I'm really, really happy with it. I am so tempted right now to just go all in, take all the tape off, clean up the floor, put up all the hardware, but I do have a job and I've been neglecting my work over the last couple days, so today I have to go work, but in a couple of days after the weekend, I will come back and I will finish this. I'll put on all the finishing touches, and then we'll get to see the total vision come together. I'm so excited. I just realized a minute ago that I forgot to put mascara on today. I keep doing that. I've been using a different mascara and I keep it in my purse, and so I'm like, oh, I want to use that mascara, and then I never put it on. Oh well. Drove over to Habitat for Humanity, and we're gonna look around in here for hardware, fixtures, soap dishes, anything. We'll see what we find. Here's my find. I got 5 of these brass plated cabinet knobs. They're a little bit scuffed up, but things are gonna wear hard in our bathroom anyway. These were only $2.68 for 5, and they're very heavy, so I think they're good quality even if they are scuffed. I just hit up my 3rd Goodwill of the day, and it's been a great day for thrifting, but not for finding things for the bathroom. There's another Goodwill nearby that I could go to, but I think I'm gonna head home because it's like 6 p.m. now, 6:30. I haven't had dinner yet, so I think we're gonna call it good for this day. I did buy a lot of stuff, but I only found knobs for the bathroom, so oh well. I lied. I'm at another Goodwill, and I just found these blue willow ware ceramic plate covers. Quite the score. The site is telling me that the hinges are in aisle 45, which is the flooring section, and I don't think they're here. Because I was just by the doors, and they're not by the doors, but I don't think they're in the flooring section either. The even numbers were on that side, the odd numbers are on this side, so I found them, thankfully, finally. It's been a couple days, and I took all the paint down, which was not as satisfying a task as I hoped it would be. I got it on the wall a little bit too much in a couple places, and so there's some very unsatisfying travesties such as that, which, like, I know it can be painted over, but I kind of hoped I was done. Also, I made the mistake of like not being careful enough here, so I got some semi-gloss on the wall, and that definitely needs fixed because it's gonna drive me crazy every time I look at it. Artwork has not come yet, but I have some like fixtures and stuff that are gonna like go up. I already put one of these knobs on here. This is gonna get another coat of paint at some point. These need to be filled and sanded, as do these holes on the extremity of this trim. This whole like project was fleshed out. I wasn't sure what all was going to go into it, and so I thought at first it was just going to be painting. I didn't think I was going to change any fixtures or maybe like any decor or anything. So I was like, what else could I change that wouldn't cost anything? And I realized that new hinges would make a big difference, because here, I'll show you this one. These are brass, but they're really like dirty and corroded, probably because there's been a lot of moisture in this bathroom, and also new light plate switches because the ones we had were just kind of grody. Actually, I just washed this one and it's fine, but the outlet cover. We always burn candles in this corner of the vanity, and the soot goes up the wall. It got all over the outlet cover and everything, so it was really, really dirty. So I just got a new one. It was like 30 cents. So those are some of the little things that I'm doing just to improve the overall aspect, and I really think especially the hinges are gonna make a big difference. I'm gonna switch them out right now. These new screws are considerably longer than the old ones, and I'm kind of wondering if it's gonna be an issue. Old ones and the new ones. Like twice as long.
It's okay. I'll give them a nip. I have something to put in there if they want to take it.
Okay. Thicker than the old one.
Just this.
All right, you ready for this? Ready for this after? Wow, they're so shiny. And now they actually match the door handle. If you are looking to do a really, really cheap update somewhere in your house, door hinges is where it's at. Please be easy.
It's still a vast improvement over.
This is absolutely killing me. Since my dad is adding a light over the shower, we're going to have 3 switches here eventually. So this is going to be replaced anyhow. But I did buy some white tipped screws to replace the old ones, because they were looking kind of sad. I agree, that would not be. It's in there too, it's just a little plate. I wanted to put 6 hooks on this piece of trim, and I found hooks at one of my thrift stores. I think there we go. They're very pretty. 3 of them need a different size screw. So I'm gonna put up the 2 that we have screws for, and my dad's gonna take the 3rd to the hardware store and look for more that are similar size. I decided I wanted a gold edge, because I have this gold paint that I bought years ago and never did anything with. Oh no. Oops, I taped it on the wrong way. And here's the finished product in the frame. So it just adds this really pretty gold edge. And it's not perfect, but from far away, I don't think anyone will be able to tell. I tragically broke the glass in this, so I'm gonna have to go get another piece of glass too. Just wanted to show you, this is the original that I was inspired to create these by. this is a 10 by 12 inch and these are 8 by 10 inch, so they're a little bit smaller. I think the scale still works. That right one is too high apparently. I'm just noticing that now, but I'm pretty happy with my copy of these. I think the little gold painting inside the edges really adds to it. It has been fully 2 months since I last worked on this project at all. I was waiting to see if a couple of things would get done, and they haven't, so I think I'm just gonna wrap this up. I've patched the wall the other day. There's just some like small holes left over from putting this up and from like old pictures on the wall and stuff. I'm gonna sand it and then touch up the paint, and then I'm gonna hang up the rest of these hooks. I got hanger bolts for them the other day, so I can finally put the rest of them up.
How's the light working here? Does that work good?
Yeah, it does. I need different light bulbs for in there though.
Peace.
They're kind of dim.
Yeah, alright. Like me. Alright, do you have it spaced out where you want them?
No, I don't. I need to measure those two. Maybe I'll go get a measuring tape and I feel like I need to take these out of the wall to measure.
How many are you putting in?
We're gonna have 6 total.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it'll be bulk. Yes.
So long. Little
8 1/4 inches apart. Oh look, I can see my markings now that I'm looking for them. That's funny, because I was like, oh, I didn't make any. Short people problems. I'm waiting for my dad to get me the right drill bits. After looking at these for a while, I think they're too low. The rule of interior design is that your art should be at eye level, and it's like at eye level for me, but I'm really short, so I think it needs to be a couple inches higher. A couple millimeters. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Yay! Story time, bear with me. I wanted to find a brass soap dish because we had like a plastic and metal one in here before, and it was at the end of its useful life. And we had a porcelain one for like a week maybe, and then it broke. So I knew I couldn't do porcelain. I didn't want to do plastic. And I wanted to find a metal soap dish. So I bought a dish in my Tulip Time vlog that I was going to use as a soap dish. I tried it out and it corroded, started corroding within a couple days, and it left a nice rust spot that's still kind of on the counter. So I knew I'd have to find something solid brass, and I couldn't find anything online that suited my fancy. Everything was either really expensive or just not the vibe. So I held out and I kept looking, and I found the perfect little dish at Goodwill eventually. It's just a made in India brass dish. It has this lovely scalloped edge and detail around the bottom. It has a pedestal. It's the perfect shape for a bar of soap. And I'm so glad I waited to find something that would be perfect. I would like to get a brass faucet eventually. It's one of the few things that isn't done in here. The light fixture is too high up on the wall, but I can't bring it down until we get the smaller mirror that has a medicine cabinet built in. And those things, I was holding it to see if they would happen, which is why it's taken me so long to get around to finishing this project. And they just didn't rank very high on the to-do list for my dad. He did put a light over the shower though, so that's been super nice. I really love how the artwork turned out. I didn't show as much of the process as I thought I was going to. I ended up hand cutting these strips and just gluing them on with like a craft glue stick. The frames are from Facebook Marketplace and the mats are from Michael's, and I found the art prints on eBay. These are the hooks I found at the resale shop that I put up this afternoon. This is going to make it so much handier in here. We've only had 2 for the last 2 months and it's been not enough. Another moment of appreciation for the shiny new hinges. And there's the shower curtain. I didn't realize this, but my mom and dad have the same shower curtain in their bathroom and it's such a classic. I think it might be a Ralph Lauren design. It's either like Ralph Lauren or Waverly. And I did buy a different shower curtain, but it was like block print, so like very much of the moment, and it had dark green and blue in it, and it was cute, but I think this goes so much better with the overall vibe of the bathroom. There's the rug too, which we had before. My mom bought it before I decided to do this redecorating, and it still goes perfectly, which is great. I think that covers everything. I'd like to find an updated clock too at some point, but it's not important at all. Since this, I did say this was like a budget project, I'm gonna share how much everything costs. The light fixture was like $66. I'll put the exact amount on the screen. It was originally like $90 and I didn't want to spend that much, but it's a knockoff of a much more expensive visual comfort light fixture. It looks less cheap in person than I was worried it would, and I think it looks really beautiful. I made this little matchbox out of paper that was left over from making the mats, and I got this also at Goodwill. It's nearly been burned through, but it smells really nice. It's the Goji Taraka Orange. This little tray I found at the resale shop it was originally from Bed Bath & Beyond, and I was going to use it as a soap dish, but I figured it also was plated, so I held out in hopes of finding something that would be actually brass. This hardware was like $2.50. This brass plate was like $23 with shipping, so one of the more expensive things that we got, all things considered. The hinges were like $7 for 3. All these hooks were like $2. And then the artwork, the frames were $1 a piece off of Facebook Marketplace, and I think I got the 3 mats for $7 from Michael's. The artwork was $20, maybe a little bit more than $20. And I don't know how to quantify the cost of the marble paper after like supplies and labor, so I'm not gonna count it. The shower curtain that I returned was $10.69, which means we saved $10.69 on this project, because girl math. We already had the rug, so I'm not going to count that in the cost. And the paint was $142 for a gallon of Aura Bath paint and a quart of gloss, just regular paint in silver gray from Benjamin Moore. I think that's everything. If we had gotten the mirror, that would have added a lot to the overall expense, because it's like $250 or something, but that will be for another day. And I guess that means this is a wrap for now. Thank you all for watching this bathroom makeover vlog. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It was not that intensive of a makeover or like a renovation or redesign, but I feel like it was a good project to cut my teeth on and kind of experiment with, and I'm happy with the result. I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog, and hope you'll join me again next time.
Hello there, and welcome to the exciting
exciting world up ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4.